All right, so now we're going to be talking about ROI, or return on investment, and the effective cost of a project. They go hand in hand, and a lot of people don't think about the effective cost. They think about the cost, but not the effective cost, and I'll explain what the difference is. But let's start out with ROI. So ROI is return on investment, and basically what you do, the project you are thinking about doing, let's say you project that that project will make you an extra $10,000 per month in income or profit, right? And if it's going to cost you $100,000 to do this project, then you take $10,000 divided by $100,000. That is 0.1 or 10%. Okay? So if you spend $100,000 to make $10,000 a year, that's a 10% return. That's your return on investment. Some people will look at it a little bit different way. They'll say, okay, if I invest $100,000, how many years will it take me to make back my money? 10,000 divided by, $100,000 divided by $10,000 per year. It's going to take you 10 years to get your money back. If you plan on holding this property for 4 years, let's say, that math might not work for you. Maybe it will for other reasons, but for that straight math problem, it's probably not going to be worth that project. If you start thinking about the value when you go resell, it could be a different story, but just straight line thinking here. So remember, you spend $100,000 and it gets you $10,000 more in income on an annual basis. That is a 10% return. Very simple. But now let's talk about effective cost. And I'm going to explain this by talking about an actual project that I did. One of my properties in North Austin, we decided to upgrade the countertops in this property. Everybody told me that this property that was in the hood in Austin, Texas, you can't put granite in there. That's ridiculous. Well, why can't I put? Well, because nobody does. Well, that's stupid. That's dogmatic thinking. First of all, I got to get you out of that mindset. Do not accept dogma because somebody said it can't be done. Figure the shit out on your own, right? That's what I did. I was irritated. People told me you can't do it. Like, well, I'll try. You might be right, but I'm going to try anyways. So what I did, I went out and put granite in the bathrooms and the kitchens, okay? Let's say an average 2-bedroom apartment at that apartment complex. It cost me about $2,000 up front to pay a company to come out and install granite countertops, reconnect the sink, reconnect the faucet, all that stuff. It cost me about $2,000 per unit. I was averaging about $100 extra in it. On that one, I was averaging $50 more in rent for those upgraded units, just for the granite countertops, right? So let's do your ROI math here. You spent $20,000 and we made $100 extra $50 extra per month. Okay, so $50 extra per month times 12 months. That project for each unit that we did that to made us an extra $600 per year. Okay, so now we come up here, we do our math. So we got $600. I got one too many zeros there. We made $600 more per year. Okay, and we paid $2,000 for that extra income, right? So what we're going to do now is we're going to do $600 divided by $2,000. That's a 30% return. Maybe that's enough for you. Maybe that's not enough for you. You have to decide what your money is worth. Is it worth doing a project that will return 30%? For me, hell yes. I'm looking to make 20 or 30% on a project to warrant me spending the dollars to get that extra income. But that's a 30% ROI, right? Because 600 is 30% of 2,000. Now let's take it one step further that many people don't think about. Now we're going to figure effective cost and run the calculation again, right? So This $2,000 that I spent, I now have granted in these units. Before I do this, I usually have Formica, that plastic laminate on the countertops. When people move out, I almost always have to refinish or resurface those countertops. In these apartments, it was costing me about $200 for the bathroom and for the kitchen. Every time somebody moved out, I had to spend $200. Industry average move out. 50% of your property will move out per year, right? What I did, though, I was trying to be very conservative, right? Let's say you average 50% of the property moves out every single year. That means over a 5-year period, because that's the average time that we're going to hold these properties. On a 5-year hold, you're going to turn that unit over 2.5 times, right? Simple math. I'm going to turn over 50% of the units every year, which means over 5 years, each unit will average turning over 2.5 times. So now what I do, 2.5 times that I don't have to resurface the countertops now. So it was average to resurface the countertops, we said was $200, and it's going to be done 2.5 times over 5 years. Simple math. That's $500 that I will not have to spend now on refinishing these countertops. It speeds up my unit turns. It makes the job for my guys not quite so hard, and it's going to save me money. So now my effective cost, remember, it cost me $2,000 per unit to do this project. But when I factored the savings, the average savings over a 5-year hold period, the effective cost for this project is only $1,500. Let's do the same math, right? So it's going to cost me $1,500 to do this, and I'm going to still get that $600 rent bump, right? So do that math. What's that? That's 40% return, right? So 600 divided by 1,500 is a 40% ROI. That's how you check to see if the project you're going to do is worth the effort and the dollar spend. Are you going to get enough in return on that dollar, right? But not only that, remember, please factor in your effective cost. That's legitimate. That's the real way you should be looking at this. Most people don't take that extra step. And maybe this was a 10% return instead of a 30% return on the upfront cost. But if they would have done it properly, maybe it would have been a 20% return. They thought, oh, well, hell, I'll do that. ROI and effective cost. Remember those things, guys.